Hello and a huge welcome to the Domain Leaders webinar. This webinar is being shared with all of you today to help you understand more about this phenomenal Domain Leaders program, about what it will entail, what it will give you and your life whilst you're here living this physical experience of yours. And it will help you to become clear on whether this is an opportunity that you want to be a part of or not. And so if you're tuning in, whether it's live or on replay, please just make yourself really comfortable, really settle down somewhere, maybe with a cuppa, and just enjoy everything that we have to share. We're in no rush here, so if you don't get to watch the full thing in its entirety, you can obviously come back to it and you can rewind parts, but just really relax and enjoy everything that we have to share with you. And the main guidance here is to feel, because with Domain, because it's such a leading edge energy holding, because there's so much insight to be understood around it, because it's so new, because it's so important, in fact critical at this time on our earth that Domain is spoken about, it can be really easy to go up in your head and start thinking and possibly even feel a little bit of overwhelm. But if you just feel the excitement, feel those flows of love from this incredible leading edge energy holding, feel the flows of love from me, and just enjoy what you're about to experience, that's when you will be flowed to the clarity around whether you want to be a part of this or not. Because for some of you, you've been having clarity calls with me and talking about Domain. Some of you have made the commitment to participate. Some of you are still considering it. Some of you who watch this might be the first time you've seen me talk about Domain. Wherever you're at, the energy that's going to be flowing through this webinar is going to bring you to clarity, if not by the end of the webinar, really soon afterwards. And if you are feeling stuck at any point, you can always book a free clarity call with me or email me and ask me questions, and I'll tell you where you can do all of that towards the end of this webinar. So for the moment, we just invite you to watch what's coming up next and to feel. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. Bear with me. There we go. And just watch, turn the volume up and feel. Oops. Bear with me, I need to click the right play button. Okay. And so now you've watched that, for so many of you, this, if it hasn't already, will move you to tears or will trigger emotion in you, and you can't quite put your finger on why. So for many of you that have seen this already, you say whenever you watch that, you feel the emotion of love behind it. That's why you're sort of feeling choked and being moved to tears, or you feel an excitement or a pull towards it. For some of you, that might be the first time that you've watched that. But the reason it's evoking those emotions within you is because you have a pull and a draw to domain, to work with it. And what the Domain Leaders Program represents, which I'll go into more detail about in a minute, is for you to become a lead energy in domain, which means that you will be fully immersive with it in a way that no one else will ever be able to. Whilst in physical, they'll still be able to use domain because we're going to help them to do that, but not kind of fully ingrained and immersed with it as the domain leaders will be. You will always be, as a domain leader, way ahead of everyone else energetically with domain, and you will be able to lead things with domain and do things with domain that others simply won't be able to. So this really is a once in an eternal lifetime opportunity, and we kind of want to bring that home to you because we want to know that we've conveyed domain in the best way possible, so you can really understand what an insane opportunity this is, one time only in your eternal life, to be able to work with domain in this way whilst you're physically on this earth, and to be able to be fully immersed within it. What an opportunity. Okay, so lots to talk about here, but the first thing I want to do now, or the next thing I want to do, is invite you to look at this next slide. Okay, again, I'm just going to hit play here. And just take that in. Don't have to work anything out, but just let the energy flow. And what you'll get a sense of there is the efficiency and the insight that can be flowed directly to you from domain. And we'll talk more about what domain specifically is in a moment. But if you've been led to watch this, stay with us, because everything you want to know will be answered on this webinar. But domain, okay, so the top left-hand corner of this visual is an energy holding out in beyond, okay? And you don't need to logically understand where beyond is, but it stores all energy sequences across all that is, past, present, and all that will be created in the future. It is massive, and there is so much that you can do with it, and so much diversity to it. And so no physical humans have yet interacted with domain. There are a few that have felt the energy of it and done some things with it, but no one's actually really kind of gone into the depth and breadth of it to bring domain understanding and insight to earth. Okay, and this is what I'm here to do. And for those of you that want to be domain leaders, you're here to participate in, whether you're wanting to understand domain for you personally, or whether you do want to go out and use it on a wider scale. It's totally your choice. But domain is massive. So for those of you that have heard of energy holdings out in the multiverses before, domain is massive. It is so critical to what we do on Earth next as physical humans, as in it is going to play such a loving, jaw-dropping, world-opening role in what we do next. And this is why I've committed to bring domain insight and understanding forward, starting with, in year one, working with those of you that want to place yourself as domain leaders and specialists and experts also, because we want to start sharing this understanding. Now is absolutely the moment. so much new possibility and opportunities and solutions for Earth, and also you and your life. So it can be used very much on a personal level as well as a broader level. And so what this visual here represents, I'm just going to play the video again, is imagine being able to receive this kind of insight from domain, that flow, that exchange of energy, that understanding, where you go to domain and it's like this database of awesomeness. And this is what the Domain Leaders Program will open up for you, that really easy, precise, accurate, specific flow of whatever it is you're wanting answers to and are wanting to understand. And it's only the Domain Leaders Program that will immerse you that fully and that slickly with domain. Now, I'm being guided to share that I have an energy holding within my physical container and non-physical container, so my body physically and non-physically, that is specifically for domain. This is why I'm so ingrained with domain and why my energy is designed to share it, spread it, and teach it. For those of you that join the Domain Leaders Program, you too will then get this same flow that's so deep around what actually domain is, what you can do with it, the different flows of it. You will become so ingrained and immersed with it. There'll be no area of domain you can't reach or touch or understand about. Okay, this is how immersive the Domain Leaders Program is going to be. So now, time to stop the share and go face to face because it's important. So I've got quite a few things here in front of me that I'm going to talk about, questions that I've been asked, things that I've been guided are coming up for you around whether you feel you want to participate in this or not. So again, just really enjoy knowing that you can pause this at any point and come back to it. Okay. So firstly, a huge welcome and thank you for watching this and for being here. Again, a really, really poignant, exciting, huge moment in time for all of us on Earth and indeed across all that is. Domain, the incredible energy holding that is domain, is about to soon be properly understood, experienced, explored, and leveraged and shared. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, because although lots of you do, some of you might be watching this and haven't come across me before. So my name's Sarah, and domain is an energy holding that I specialized in when I was non-physical, before I came into this physical experience, always with the intention that when I came into this physical experience, I would share it with humans on Earth so we could finally start using it and creating new possibilities and opportunities and probability for our Earth. And so I've been working at expanding my own energy and insight and understanding for the last 4 or 5 years now. I've moved through some incredible energetic training and expansion to do this. And now I'm in the perfect place where I'm energetically kind of primed to share my energy with you and really help bring everyone that wants to come up to the same speed with domain insight and understanding, also specifically on the Domain Leaders Program. And when I'm working with domain, I'm working with God, with Sali, the true name of Earth's consciousness, and with Nelson Mandela. And they're wanting to be really clear from the off. This is a team focus. And for those of you that choose to attend the Domain Leaders Program, you are going to be held in that incredible energy between all 4 of us, okay? Knowing that we've got your back always. You can feel really safe, because for some, we can feel that domain and what it represents for Earth can feel a bit big and potentially a bit intimidating. And God's kind of like lovingly asking me to share. This is kind of how I felt about 2 or 3 years ago when I started to receive insight. I was like, oh gosh, I'm not sure I'm ready for this. It is so significant. But because I've energetically expanded so much myself, I'm just in a place now where it's like, I know that we're going to nail this and we're going to have an absolute ball of discovery and fun and adventure and voyaging together as we discover domain on the Domain Leaders Program. But you can feel really safe and rest assured in the fact that our energy will always be there to support you forevermore. Okay, so beyond the 12-month program, also our energy will support you. It will ensure that you don't mistranslate anything you're receiving around domain. This is how potent and powerful the program is, okay? Because you will be ensured that everything you receive is correct. Even if you need to understand more about it, your receiving will be held in a space where you cannot mistranslate. Feel the relief in that. For some of you who are kind of a bit nervous at time about receiving non-physical understanding or leading edge insight, feel safe in that, okay? Because I used to feel like that myself as well. I've just done it for so long now, I know to trust. So feel really safe and reassured in that. And as I've mentioned on the Domain Leaders page on my website, sarahmorganglobal.com/domain-leaders, if at any point I need to step back for, say, a few months, if I have children, that type of thing, okay, because that is something I'm wanting, okay, you will be assured that my energy will still be there to support, okay, even if it's just my energy and not physically asking me questions just for that few months. And you will also have the energy again of Nelson, Sali, and God. So you do not mistranslate. You can feel really, really safe. But if I do take any moments or phases where I take a step back for a few months, I am going to always be coming back, and my energy will always be there with you to help and support you as well. So you're never on your own with this. That's really important to share, because we want you to feel part of a really precious family energy that the domain leaders will form always. And it's a really beautiful thing. It's never in a pressurizing way of like, now you know everything about domain, you must go and teach. It's not that. It's like, you know so much and you get to choose what you do with it, but you'll always have that safety and support from us, and be in that family and energy with others that are choosing to do the Domain Leaders Program also. So that's the setup for you to feel really safe, to know you cannot mistranslate, to know that we've got you and you've got you also, okay? So the next thing some of you are going to be asking is, what is domain? And some of you are going to be saying, well, I know certain things about domain, but there's so much else also. So tell me, okay? So domain is, as I've said, an energy holding out and beyond. It is massive. Think of like a massive database of sequences across all that is. And as one example, one thing you can do, because there's endless things you can do with domain. Imagine you are wanting to create something on Earth, okay, or help something on Earth, okay, such as it could be something like speeding up the growth of the Amazon rainforest. It could be something that you want to do with your own physical body to help it in terms of nutrients and that type of thing. It could be that you want to help get more water to Africa. It could be that you want to actually do some healing on one of your family members. What you can do is you can go to domain, ask it how it can help you with what you're wanting, and it's going to start sharing streams of insight with you that are beyond our physical earth. So what this means is there may be energy sequences in other places in the multiverses that you can draw from, that domain will share with you and start using here on Earth. It's literally bringing new to Earth. So this is literally opening up the multiverses to physical humans on Earth, and indeed opening up interaction between those other places across the multiverse also. And it feels like now is the moment to say, for those of you that don't know, okay, that there are other universes within our multiverse, but there is also more than one multiverse, but within our multiverse that we're in, there are other universes that also have other planets, other physical life, okay? And we can start to now draw energy sequences from them and start utilizing them on Earth. And so too, we can share back with those other places. And that's something I've not received before, but it's kind of showing you where domain can take us. This notion that there are other beings out there that aren't loving isn't true. Okay, in order to be able to work with domain, your energy has to be really high vibrational and loving. And again, that's something that we ensure when you do the Domain Leaders program. If you aren't already awakened and evolved in 100% high vibration, we take you to it as part and parcel of the program, so that bit is covered for you. But there's also so much more you can do with domain. So there are really kind of earthy, worldly things that you can do. But also, say you're wanting to create something, it could be money, it could be your next home. Okay, what I was receiving from domain the other day was, when I'm ready to create, not actually manifest, create energetically my forever home. Okay, because where I am now, thinking going to be here for a few years, but then I want my forever home, I will be able to work with domain and use it to create my forever home. So domain is so much about creation and divine creation also, okay? And you don't need to kind of understand what all these words mean, but just feel. So we're just reminding you to feel here. Also, we've explained that you can use it for healing. Also, domain has consciousness. So this is new understanding that came through to me a few weeks ago. You can actually speak to domain's conscious. Okay, so like having a non-physical guide that's got consciousness. Okay, you can ask and receive questions and have a conversation. And again, for some of you that haven't done much energy work yet, this might seem quite out there, but this is where we're going as physical humans now. We're awakening, we're evolving, we're advancing, we're energetically expanding, like we've like literally blasted through the ceiling in terms of energetic expansion. So this is what is accessible to us. And imagine physical humans living on Earth being able to access domain and the multiverses in this way. This is what is possible. So domain also has consciousness. It also has other consciousnesses, to say that right, that support it and work alongside it. So there's another consciousness called Martha. Okay, again, an incredible consciousness that's almost like a counterpart with domain. And again, has consciousness, and you can ask and speak to as well, and so much insight specifically for Earth, kind of like a sister energy actually to Sali. So there's that side of things. Also, when I connected to domain the other day, whenever you connect, you're going to get something different and new. But I was literally, you know, that scene, I've said this to a couple of you, in The Matrix, where Neo learns jiu-jitsu. Okay, and he like gets downloaded everything he needs to know. I was called to connect to domain a few days ago, and literally I could just feel my energy holding for domain in the center of me, literally being loaded up with knowing and energy sequences, and it was awesome. And this is just the start. There's so much that we can do. And the thing is, domain is so vast. There's always more and new that you can do with it. But what it means is it makes things possible on Earth that have never been possible before. It makes things possible for you that have never been possible before and are only possible because of your interaction and immersion with domain. Okay, so it literally opens up the multiverses to you. I was receiving as well how domain can almost energetically take you to other places in the multiverse as well without needing to wormhole or anything like that. So again, these are just sort of giving you indications of the depth and breadth of what domain can do. Now, that is a lot, okay? You will find, if you're drawn to the Domain Leaders program, that there are certain areas, niches that you want to explore and discover with domain. Okay, you don't need to come to domain needing to understand the whole thing, although some of you will want to. You're each going to flow with what feels great to you. Okay. And so when we say, what is domain going to open up for you and what will it give you? The first thing is passion. Imagine spending the year, because Domain Leaders is a year-long program. Imagine spending the year in the incredible company of, and we're using imagination energy here to help you, someone like Stephen Hawking, spending the year with him and literally learning so much from him, and sitting down in the evenings and just drinking up all of what he wants to share with you, and you almost go on this multiversal tour with him of wonder and discovery. Now, it won't be with Stephen Hawking, okay? It will be directly with Domain, plus you have the support of myself, God, Asali, and Nelson, but it will be directly with Domain. Domain always revealing more to you. Domain feeling like it is feeding you energetically, like it is satiating you, hitting that sweet spot of you wanting to understand more about our earth and indeed the multiverse. I was receiving also the other day, incidentally, that Domain, as an example, wanted to share with me energetic sequences from Neolithic times on earth also, and Neolithic humans who were around at that time, because these are the kind of energy sequences you can draw from the past on earth also and bring into the now. And another example of healing, someone else I know, their hemoglobin levels had dropped. So I worked with Domain to get previous energy sequences from them where their hemoglobin levels were where they should be, and overnight they increased. Okay, so again, just kind of little examples and tasters into what you can do with Domain. But what is going to open up for you is like one of the most self-loving and indulging years for you to explore and discover Domain, what it has to offer, feel the truth that your energy can understand anything from it by the end of that year and can go anywhere in it by the end of that year. And it's going to be something that is going to feel so enjoyable and so special, kind of like a privilege, but in a way where it's like, gosh, I can't believe I'm getting to immerse with Domain in this way. This is this one-time opportunity where I can literally ingrain my energy with Domain and vice versa, and know that beyond that 12 months, I can do whatever I want with Domain and go wherever I want with it and take it wherever I want in my own life, depending on what I'm wanting. This is how it's going to feel for you. So it is new. No one's brought it forward in this way before. Okay. There are people who have been on energetic journeys kind of alongside me over the last sort of 2 or 3 years that know of Domain and have have had different touch points with it. But Domain Leaders brings you the full immersion in only a way that my energy and this program can. Okay. Just because that's just what my energy is designed to do. And it's something I always knew I wanted to do when I came into physical. Okay. So this is what it's going to open up for you. And imagine having Domain on tap if you want to create things in your life, if you want to find new answers and solutions and possibilities and ways to better things or remedy things. Because it will set you up as a lead energy, you will have the opportunity, if you want to be referenced as a domain specialist or a domain expert on the main Domain website. So what you might find is over time, if it's something you're wanting, and this is your choice at the end of the 12 months, that people come to you because you have specialities in certain areas. So again, for those of you that I've already been speaking to about Domain, you're starting to get little whispers of what you can start to do with Domain as like an entry point. And for some of you, it's about the oceans. For some of you, it's about food and nutrition. For some of you, it's more about healing. For some of you, you've got certain guides actually that are coming in that are wanting to work hand in hand with you with Domain. And that won't be uncommon. For those of you that choose to become Domain Leaders, there'll be a key guide for many of you that's going to come in and work with you alongside the rest of the Domain non-physical team also. Okay. So imagine having that on tap for the rest of your life and getting better and better and better with it always, because this is what the program will ensure for you, that your energy is getting more and more progressful and advanced with Domain always in a perpetual way, not in a way that's too much. It's very loving, it's very gentle, but you're always going to be stepping up with your energizing and learning and understanding and execution and usage and leveraging of domain. That's assured for you, again, specifically for those of you that attend the Domain Leaders Program. So another question that's been coming up is, why is it 12 months? Okay. Some of you are like, oh, that feels really satisfying. 12 months of like complete indulgence with domain. That feels so good. I get to just go at my own pace. I get to really enjoy it, and there's no rush. Some of you are a bit like, wow, 12 months feels like quite a long time. So let us just explain why 12 months is the right length of time. It's because we don't want to go hard and fast and almost shock your energy with it, because that is what could occur. It could overwhelm because it is just so beautiful and big. By going at a really gentle, enjoyable pace across 12 months, you will acclimatize, align, and immerse in a way where you don't get any of that energetic shock. You don't get any negative energetic impact. You just enjoy this kind of increased ongoing ingraining of domain as the 12 months progresses. Gone are the days for so many of us where it's hard and fast and let's smash it. We want to flow in easeful, beautiful, enlightening, eye-opening, exciting, curiosity evoking insight and knowledge and understanding and discovery. That's the way we want to flow. We want to allow it to come to us in a pace that feels good for us, rather than being, let's cram it in 3 months, get as much done and then go. That's not what so many are wanting now. So many are wanting the flow, the kind of just cruising isn't quite the right word, but just that's the closest word we can get, kind of cruising along with it in a way you're excellent with it and pro-westful with it, but without any of that energetic shock. Okay, so again, the 12 months is there to ensure that, but it ensures also that you get that full ingraining, that you can't mistranslate by the end of the 12 months, and that you are feeling really comfortable and happy with it, because we don't want anyone at the end of the 12 months to feel like, okay, I've learned all of this stuff and now I don't know what to do next. It feels too big. None of you are going to feel like that. You're going to feel really comfortable and at home with domain in a way that only the domain leaders will do. So again, that's really beautiful for you to understand too. Okay. And so feel into the flow of that, the cruisingness of that, and why it therefore is 12 months rather than 3 or even 6. It's like, we want you to love the next year. Life is for living, and to be able to drink up domain as often as you want during that 12 months, knowing it's always accessible to you, but without having to cram and shoehorn, that is what it should be like. We want you to feel really free in being able to work with domain and understand domain in that way. Okay. And so this is the point where we kind of bring to the forefront again the fact that this represents a life-changing and world-changing moment for you, but also the world. Okay. When you think of what being a domain specialist can give to your life, to those that you love, even your immediate surroundings where you live, your community, even the nature in your house, okay, as well as those other physical living things such as your spiritual companions, so your pets, your family members, friends, that type of thing. There is so much that will just be available to you because you're a domain specialist. You'll be like, oh, okay, I want to help with this, or I want an answer to this. I want to find a better way to do this. Hang on, let me just hook up to domain, not literally hook up, but let me just energetically flow to domain, knowing that I can go to any part of it. I'm fully immersed in the depth and breadth of it, and it's going to give me the answers, solutions. It's going to help me. It's going to help me do these things in a way that no other humans have ever done before. This is what it can open up for you, and it's always going to give you more. It's never going to run out. the fulfillingness of that, the continual growth and expansion with that in a way that lifts you and feels satisfying and beautiful to you, that elevates your living. Domain in the future will elevate everyone's living, but never quite in the same way as it will do for a domain leader. It's going to really elevate things for you. And that's really exciting to be part of the domain leaders community and family, and to be able to share this insight with one another as well, and know that we're all kind of flowing with it in this way. It's really exciting, and it's going to be so much fun at the same time. Okay. Plus, you can learn things about our multiverses, specifically through what domain can share, as well as around our earth, and also past as well as now also. Okay. And knowing that you, as we said at the beginning, you're always going to be supported by us. We're always going to have your back with it. You're never going to be on your own with this. That's why we say, if you're going to do the 12 months, commit to like being in the energy of the domain leaders program for 12 months, and then beyond that, choose what you want to do with it, but knowing that you're always going to have your back held, your energy held by us. No matter what you choose to go off and do, our energy is there always to support you. We've always got your back, so you can feel really safe, happy, confident and free with that, and what you choose to do with domain after that. Because some of you are just going to want to use it for yourselves, others of you are going to want to use it for those that you love, others of you are going to want to go and do things potentially with world leaders and that type of thing in the future. So again, you get to choose, knowing that we are shouldering the responsibility, kind of to say like we're kind of holding the space and the energy for you all, and kind of shouldering that. And that's probably more along the lines of what we'll do over time, more wide reaching things on a wider global scale, without the rushing to it, but the ease and flow of it. But for some of you, you might want to do that also, but again, it's totally your choice. We're the ones that have committed to share understanding across Earth. You are the ones that can choose to be a domain leader, and then you choose to do whatever you want with it beyond that. And that doesn't have to be sharing it with the rest of Earth if you don't want to, although it can be if you do want to. Just know that also by you working with domain in this way, unconsciously, you'll be helping the flows of understanding without you even having to consciously get involved in doing that around the earth. But we're kind of shouldering the more broader responsibility, if you like, of bringing this to earth in a wider way. And so again, just feel free that you've got utter choice and freedom with what you want to do once you are equipped with the full energy of domain by the end of the 12-month program. Okay. And so if you're not yet sure, like, what would I even do with domain? Where would I even start? I know that when I watch this and talk about it and feel the energy of it, it really moves me. When I think about the notion of domain, it excites me, but what would I even do with it? Book a clarity call if you haven't already, and we'll start to get some flows for you to get your energy moving towards a direction that is kind of like your entry point into domain. It's like the doorway point. So it might be something, as an example, to do around foods, okay, or how to help foods grow on earth. And know that that's like your starting point. But once you kind of open that door into domain, so many other things can and will open up for you as well. It's like an endless feast of just awesomeness that you can utilize to aid your physical living. Okay. So, but if some of you are also going to be getting whispers, and these whispers will be flowing to you if you allow them to flow in the lead up to the Domain Leaders program starting on the 1st of October. And you can literally just sign up on the 1st of October. You can't after that date, but you've got until the 1st of October also. So look out for those whispers and flows from Domain. Book a clarity call with me if you haven't already. And just trust what you're getting. This is the other thing. If you're watching this webinar, trust what you are getting as like whispers and entry points around domain. Trust that, because that's being flowed to you because of the energetics of this webinar. So you can trust that. But of course, if you want to check in with me or email me or book a clarity call, that's absolutely fine also. Okay. And so Next thing that we're being asked as well, who are we actually looking for to be domain leaders? Okay, the main thing is people that we energetically trust. Okay, now remember, we've energetically got your back. By participating in the program for the full 12 months, you will be able to be sure that you do not mistranslate and you are receiving with clarity and accuracy anything that's being flowed to you from domain. But also, we do want it to be people that we energetically trust. So how will you know if we energetically trust you? Well, if you're having clarity calls, we are telling those of you, okay, that we are trusting you. If you're someone that hasn't come across me before or hasn't done much energetic work before, because quite a few of you so far have done a lot of energetic work, others of you won't have. Just because you've done less does not mean you're not meant to work with domain. If you are feeling the pull to it and excited by it and feeling the truth of it, and without going into your head, you're feeling that you want to be involved, book a clarity call with me, okay? Because what we'll do is, on the program anyway, over that 12 months, we'll bring you energetically up to speed anyway at a really rapid pace, because of an incredible energy I work with called Explanatory that will be shared with you, that complements and weaves through the domain program. It also helps with receiving and all that awesomeness. We will bring you up to energetic speed throughout that 12 months. Our energy will train your energy just naturally. Just by you being there, our energies will be training your energy without you consciously even having to get involved at that point. Although you will want to do conscious things, of course, but unconsciously there'll be so much energetic training that's going on, and non-consciously also. Okay, so again, feel the truth that if you are yet to awaken and or evolve, by being on the domain leaders program, you are going to get to kind of like the maximum that you can be energetically with domain in the quickest way possible. This is what the domain leaders program also ensures. Okay, of course, several of you are already awakened and evolved, and again, you'll just be able to feel really safe in that receiving, in our energy always supporting you, but knowing that by the end of the 12 months, you'll all be positioned as domain leaders and experts, and you'll be able to share and flow with one another also. So it becomes less teacher studenty. It's much more about, wow, like I could even be like, oh, I want to know about this thing. Okay, I know that domain leader specializes in this. I'm just going to go and touch base with him or her. It's that type of thing. And so it's this beautiful exchange also, because the other thing is God saying, I could have done this myself. I could have literally kept all domain knowledge and understanding in a leading edge way where it's being shared with earth to myself, but I don't want to do it on my own. I want to share it. I want to share it with those that we energetically trust, because we want to have fun with it at the same time. So we're looking for people that we trust energetically, for people that we love. Like, we're gonna, if you want to be a part of domain, you can be certain that there's going to be such a flow of love between you and I and the others on the program, because love is what's leading you to it. Okay, so that will be a natural thing. If I can feel your just excitement and passion, no matter where you are at energetically or how much or little you've done energetically, if you know you want to be a part of it, we're going to love you, and there's going to be that family loving flow. Okay, but we want that love. So this isn't for people that are like, oh, I might just dip my toe in for a month and see. It's like, no, we want you to know that you really want this, and you're choosing it because it's your choice, and you want to really enjoy this 12 months of just enjoying exploring with domain and using it, making it tangible, because domain right now is the most tangible it has ever been, because we've got so many energies that are lined up and primed and wanting to work with it. It's like, now this is the key moment over the next 12 months where domain becomes tangible on earth, where it's like we use it almost as if it was physical with us. Not quite to that point, but that's how much you'll be able to feel it if you're a domain leader. It's like, it is real, it is usable, it is tangible, there's evidence of it, you're seeing the results, there's no mistake that it's working, and it's here for us. And in using it in this way, we inspire others also and help them to realize that domain is an energy holding accessible to them also, when they're energetically experienced enough with it. But again, domain leaders, you'll be ensured by the end of the program, you are set up and equipped to be fully fully prowessful in leveraging and energizing domain, and always doing more with it if that's what you're wanting. Okay. We're looking for that family feeling as well. That will naturally occur because the right energies will come forward to be domain leaders, and it will feel like a family energy always. And that's a really beautiful thing. And that family energy means there will be phases where all of us kind of dip in and out and do more and then do less, and then there'll be some ebbs and there'll be some flows around what we're doing with domain. And that's beautiful because we're all busy living life. Okay, some of you might take a few months off of your focus of domain and go and travel the world or something, and then flow back to it. So there'll be this beautiful kind of mix of those that are kind of doing bits with domain at different points, those that are doing more with domain on a more consistent and continuous level, and that would be more my energy with it, absolutely, because I've committed to it in this way. Even if I do have to step back for a few months at any point, I will be coming back to it and probably be doing stuff while I'm stepping back anyway, because I love working with it. But it's like that real kind of family. We just want everyone to be happy and free and enjoying what they're doing with domain, and possibly meeting up physically and hanging out with each other. Maybe there'll be opportunities for collaborations, but never with any pressure and obligation. So it's not like if you're a domain leader, you must be here at this place at this time. It's choice. It's a real free flowing, loving family energy. Okay. Fun, I think we have touched on, but we're looking for people that want to have fun with it. It's not heavy. It's not serious. It's jaw-droppingly beautiful and wondrous and leading edge, but not in a heavy way, in a beautiful way. So feel that when we say beautiful, it's beauty realized, its domain, and what we can start doing as humans on earth. You know, think about so many things that people want to change: money flows and circulation of money, weather systems, you know, the melting of the ice caps. I mean, there's so many things. Recycling, wanting to help the landscapes immediately around us to thrive, the communities immediately around us to thrive or further afield. There's so much that we want to do, and we feel like we've kind of progressed a lot the last couple of 100 years, but it's like, but there's more beyond the earth. And it's because there's domain, which gives you access to the multiverses, that opens up incredible new possibility for earth. Okay. And again, as I've touched on, this is the way of working is less teacher student. Okay, it's much more collaboration and sharing. And if you choose to be a part of the program, you will watch one of the monthly masterclasses, because there'll be a monthly masterclass each month, hence the monthly, so 12 across the year. And then you'll be inspired and encouraged to go off and do things. And then you'll come back and share. And we will love what you have to share, because I can't get to all of that insight myself. Because if they say there's like 20 people, there's a maximum number of 20 places available for the program, just so we can make sure every domain leader is getting all of the energy from us that they need. But imagine what 20 people can bring through, and the speed versus one. And again, this is why we want to share it. So it's much more about sharing and learning together, which is where the energetic trust comes in. If we energetically trust you, which we will, if we say come and be a part of it, then we're going to be able to really share in that beautiful, beautiful way. Okay. And so again, if you want to pause this, take a drink at any minute, do. We're going to keep going because there's so much to say. We don't want to rush through this. Domain deserves this airtime, because it is now that domain is ready to be brought forward and understood. And this first year where we're doing the domain leaders program, we'll be laying the foundations of it. Okay, so we want to give it the airtime and space that it truly, truly needs. Okay, so what a moment. Domain is critical for a way forward on earth. What a moment. You could literally choose to place yourself as a domain leader or expert, whether you want to do things with it on a broader scale or more personally in your own life. You can get to be a lead energy for it. A one-time opportunity, a one-time opportunity. So feel with this. Don't rush to a decision unless you impulsively through this webinar and instinctively and truly know that you want to do it. You're like, gosh, yeah, this is ringing true. One opportunity. And it's not that I'm doing it because I'm scared of missing out. I'm doing it because I want this for my life. I want it for my life and it feels true for me. I want to be able to even teach my children about it. Like, who knows what you'll want to do with it? It's something I want to do. I want my girls to literally grow up and be energetically pro-restful with domain from the off. Of course I do. What incredible physical humans they're going to be. So again, possibilities here everywhere. But what a moment. What a moment. What a time to make this choice. And rather than thinking, gosh, 12 months, that's a long time, it's like 12 months of complete indulgence and discovery for me in my own beautiful way, because everyone that joins, you'll be different energies, different designs. We love and have so much admiration and respect for every single one of you. So you will flow in your way that's right for you. It's not about us saying you must flow with it in this way. You'll each want to express domain and flow with it differently depending on your energy design. So know that you'll be free to do that also. Okay. The multiversal insight, as we keep talking about, always evolving and giving you more, because if you think about it, new energy sequences are being created all the time multiversally, let alone on our earth where it's like insane, the newness all the time, but everywhere else as well. So it's always expanding, always got more to give. What a group of people to be a part of, being a part of the domain leaders family, knowing that when we get to the end of our physical lives, we took that opportunity. We used domain. We paved the way for others to use domain, that we took that opportunity whilst we were physical. And that satisfaction that we're going to feel that we did that. Again, just have that moment when you go back into non-physical and you're talking to God about what you did, and you're having that wonderful chat with him about what you experienced and learned from being physical, to know that you were one of the 20 that positioned yourself as domain leaders to pave the way. What an incredible, beautiful thing. And that in non-physical, you can go on. This is what God's saying to be non-physical guides for future physical humans who are working with domain, to help them in a way that we will be able to flow insight to them, if that's what you're wanting also. And because humans are so energetically advanced now in terms of how they're expanding, for those that are awakening and evolving and expanding and all the rest of it, it's like, this is why domain hasn't been spoken about before, because we weren't able to use it in the way that we're able to before. We've needed to awaken and evolve and become really energetically advanced and to be able to move with it in this way. And as we've said, even if you haven't done much energy work yet, we will bring you up to that speed and state of energetic capability with domain, where you can literally have the maximum energetic advantage with it. That is what the Domain Leaders Program is dedicated to. Okay, so what an amazing group of people to be a part of, and gosh, so much love for always, family energy for always. How beautiful. Okay, so beyond the Domain Leaders Program, what does that look like? Because the Domain Leaders Program is going to run across year one of how we want to start sharing and bringing forth domain insights, starting with you guys. We will be behind the scenes writing a book. Okay, I started writing this a couple of years ago. We'll be going back to that book and finalizing it, because we want people to start reading about domain, start understanding the different possibilities multiversally that are accessible to them to use on Earth. We want to start sharing some insight. And again, the insight we're receiving in that book, that's just tiny bits, because domain is so vast. So don't for one second think, if we're going to say you have an interest in the Amazon and we write about the Amazon, that you can't do anything with the Amazon. There is so much that you can do just with that. So it's like, we will be introducing domain and kind of possibilities for Earth through that book. But then you guys, if you want to be, will be placed on the main domain website as domain leaders. Okay, so experts and specialists. So people may pick up that book and then go to the main domain website and then see you guys there, and may come to you for consultancy or whatever it is. Even if you're a healer, as an example, okay, they may come to you for that. You have the choice as to whether you want to be on the main domain website or not. And whether you are or aren't, you will always know that you are a domain lead energy, and you will always be, even in your own knowledge, even if you're not promoting it everywhere, although you can absolutely promote it everywhere if you want to, you'll be able to declare yourself and know that you are a domain leader and expert and specialist. Okay, so that book, when it starts to circulate, will start raising awareness and intrigue and excitement, and start attracting other people to start building an even bigger domain community. We are looking at doing things like a domain school of energetics, like a rolling membership, helping people to leverage my energy to work with domain. Again, just feel the difference of that, leveraging my energy to work with domain, or domain leaders, you being wholly in your own energy working with domain without needing to leverage me at all, knowing that myself and the domain non-physical team are there to always support you. We've always got your back, but you won't be needing to leverage my energy by the end of the 12 months. You'll just have free reign with it. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, but again, we want to start helping more people understand domain, learn about domain, maybe learn about different aspects of domain from you if you are a domain leader, if you're wanting to help others with it. Again, totally up to you what you do and don't want to do. But we're going to start rolling the book out, sharing insight. We're going to start working, when the time's right, with different communities in different parts of the world to get them working with domain, to bring solutions and answers and possibilities to them as well. This is where it's going. Roundtable events are something we've always been shown in the future as well. Not where you have to jet set around the world the whole time, but like there is a particular roundtable event that will be held with some key energies. And I don't know who those are yet. We'll know when that happens. But again, kind of leading the way in what we want to use domain for Earth, knowing that domain can only ever be used in a loving way that will aid us. Okay, because that's just how it's designed. You can never do anything other than positive, loving, good with domain and what you can receive from it. Okay, so it will be over time a greater community that builds, but again, you as domain leaders will always be positioned as the domain leaders. And Nelson's always lovingly flowed me to this notion of the elders that he was a part of when he was physical. Imagine domain leaders, that kind of group of incredibly beautiful, loving, wonderful humans that are here primed to do some wonderful things with domain, and to take it as big or small as they want to, or as wide or immediate as they want to. Okay, so that's the energy he's always flowed to me. And think about the excitement as well. This is the other thing I keep being flowed, like Neil Armstrong when he took his first step on the moon. Imagine how it feels to be like amongst the first 20 that are really ingraining themselves with domain and exploring it and venturing into it and using it, because the 12 months isn't just about exploring, it's about you using it from the off pretty much. How amazing. This is what we mean by immersion. And so if you are feeling like, gosh, there's so much here, it's big, if I don't think I feel, I'm just like feeling the yes. If you haven't yet worked with me, please feel free to book a clarity call. I would love to meet you. And it feels like it would help you really kind of settle into the kind of, yes, this is for me. Or you might feel like you haven't met me yet, but you know that this is for me and you want to book on to secure your place because the places are limited, and then book the clarity call. You can do it that way around also. That's absolutely fine. Don't miss out on this one-time opportunity. And we say that, look, we haven't really been this bold so far. We've just been like, it's your choice. But now, because we're getting closer and there's been a lot of energizing with a lot of you already, it's like, can you feel the vastness of this opportunity, the significance of it, and what an opportunity it truly is for you? This isn't about us. This is for you, an opportunity for you. If you're feeling the pull, come to it, come to us, come enroll, get your place secured, and just really then feel very peaceful and happy and settled about the fact you're going to be flowing this for a full year with us. Okay. So a bit of a stutter there. I sometimes do that when I'm receiving, for those of you that don't know. Okay. Remember, new possibilities, options, solutions, resources, answers, discoveries, clarity. This all awaits you with Domain. It's massive. It's perfect for Earth and wanted by Earth now. The time is now. This is the moment. We start on the 1st of October if you're wanting to be a part of it, okay? Being able to position yourself in this way, but never ever feeling on your own with it, okay? And the opportunity to position yourself right at the center of everything Domain has to offer, and creating history because of it, even if it's a very unconscious kind of behind the scenes level. This isn't about necessarily fame with Domain. It's not actually something I want to work with people that may have more wider exposure in terms of audiences. I want to be more kind of notorious and behind the scenes, but whatever you want to do with it, knowing that you are creating history here, like this is literally what God's saying, you are creating some extraordinary history here also by just being present, okay? And knowing that you'll be leveraging Acceler energy to transcend your pace with Domain. So this is really key as well, okay? Acceler energy is an energy, again, that only my energy can train other energies in at this moment in time. It will be like that for quite a while, is the guidance, because it's an energy that I created, okay? And Acceler energy is like a blend between excel and accelerate. So it's enhancing everything for you, but it's also making it quicker. It's also about ease and beauty and blissful and peaceful and joyous living, where you are no longer pushing and struggling and striving. You are just in maximum flow energetically from that beautiful, more peace-led state. This is how you'll get the best from Domain, and this is how your energy will be trained by our energy through the 12 months. For those of you that are new to Acceler energy, you're going to be riding this beautiful energy crest of a wave, if you like, that is loving and beautiful and blissful, but without the slog, without the hard energetic earning. It's just a beautiful rise of expertise with Domain that will occur in this beautiful way because of Acceler energy being laced throughout the whole of the 12 months. So feel into that. Again, we're just being asked to reiterate that statement. You'll be leveraging Acceler energy to transcend your pace and understanding and expertise as you participate in Domain Leaders. Okay. So what other questions are we being asked? Okay, just to help you. How much time will it require? First of all, well, there'll be 12 monthly masterclasses that are probably going to be around 1 to 2 hours long. You to do different things and explore different areas and go off and do different things with Domain and then share back to us. We will be monitoring a questions thread because it will be held in a Facebook group. We'll be monitoring a questions thread Monday through to Friday. So every day, Monday through to Friday for that full year, we will be checking and answering questions, reacting to and reading the sharing of insight that you guys are sharing, and just helping you. If you sort of have questions whilst you're familiarizing yourself with Domain, we will always get the insight. But again, remember, while you're in this program and beyond, you will also be energetically held, so you always get the correct insight as well. That's what it will energize for you with the 12 months, okay? You can choose how much you want to do. I was getting earlier that some of you might just want to check in with Domain once a week and explore it. Some of you might want to do more. Some of you, this is going to open up a whole new area energetically that's awaiting you that you didn't even know about, that you really want to focus on and specialize in whilst you're physical. So these could be things you don't know anything about yet. And we say this, yes, you'll get some whispers about your entry points into Domain, but there is so much newness that you can't even fathom at the moment. There'll be words and phrases and connotations is the word I'm being given, and concepts that you've never even heard of before. So come knowing that there is an element of mystery, and you want that. You want to always know more. You don't want to know everything Domain is going to give you before you start. You actually genuinely don't. That is the guidance. You want to come to Domain knowing that you're always going to learn more. Like Stephen Hawking, when he was in physical, was always wanting to learn more about the multiverse. Again, you will be energetically way more advanced, though, and he's asked me to say this, than Stephen Hawking was when he was physical, because you'll be awakened and evolved and working with Acceler energy to transcend you, and you'll be ingrained with Domain. So you're going to be way more energetically like off the charts than that. Okay, so again, allow yourself to believe this. And so some of you are going to want to maybe really specialize on certain areas. And so, as well as the monthly fee for being a domain leader that kind of runs across the whole of the 12 months, you may want to do some one-to-one work with me that will be as a separate fee, but you may want to kind of work with me for 1 to 3 months in a very kind of personalized niche way, because you're like, whoa, I'm onto something here and I really want to max this even more. So actually I want to work with Sarah and the domain team in a one-to-one way. Not every one of you will want that. It's just there for those of you that do, and will probably always be there as an option beyond the Domain Leaders 12-month program for the domain leaders also. And so you don't have to do one of those. They're just there for those of you that are going to stumble upon or discover something that's so awesome. You want to really get specific with it and have that real kind of deeper integrated kind of one-to-one working with me in addition to the 12 months. But all of you that attend the 12 months and see it through will naturally become immersed in domain energy in enough of a way that you can be accredited as a domain leader or expert. Okay, so kind of feel comfortable with that, but know that if any of you do really want to like go all out at it because it feels good to you, there is the offering there to kind of support you in that way too. Okay. And you will get the daily support and guidance as well for those of you that kind of really want to interact more on a daily basis. But again, it will be different for each of you. Remember, you want to still live your life and enjoy your life. Again, this is the reason why it's 12 months rather than 3. If it was 3, it would be like trying to cram so much in. As it's 12, it just becomes part and parcel of your living and life. That's where you'll get to with it. So some of you will go to it once or twice a week. Some of you might do more. You get to choose, okay, but knowing the whole time that our energy is supporting you and training you, okay. And if you're not sure yet, okay, although the guidance is this webinar will flow you to the clarity. If it's not during it, by shortly afterwards, you will get to the clarity. This is what the energy in this webinar is helping you to flow to, okay. If you're still kind of feeling a bit stuck and you haven't yet had a clarity call, book one in. Okay. So if you go to sarahmorganglobal.com/domain-leaders, further down in the page, you'll see that there's part of the text that says you can email me if you have any questions or book a clarity call. So you can also email me also. Okay. If any of you who've had clarity calls are a bit like, there's still just something, can't quite put my finger on it, what the heck is it, message me and we will get you the clarity, okay, so that you can then decide either way. We still have time. It starts on the 1st of October, but given there's limited spaces, some of you are just going to want to get to that clarity and get on board if that feels right to you, okay. What will it feel, what will it be like, the 12 months? We've given you a really good feeling of that, hopefully, like a discovery, like a adventure, like the most self-loving, indulgent, satisfying year for you, where you're learning new, but never in a way that kind of blows your mind and kind of overwhelms, in a way that's like, oh my God, did you know this? Just received this. Oh my gosh, I've just received that I can do this to help this thing. Oh my gosh, I've actually realized this has opened up a whole part of my energy that makes so much more sense about why something still felt a bit missing and why I want to do more. That won't be the case for all of you, but for many of you, you knew you wanted to work with domain when you were physical. So for many of you, it's going to be like, okay, this does actually piece lots more together for me now. This was the missing element. For others of you, it will just give you even more to what you are already enjoying and living about your lives. But for some of you, it kind of is the missing piece as well. And that's definitely been the guidance for some of you on the clarity calls. Okay. How energetic experienced do you need to be? Again, we've answered this, but just to make it really clear here, if you know you want to do it, you're meant to be a part of it. Okay. Come and join us, and we will energetically get you to where your energy needs to be so you have maximum energetic advantage with it. So don't think I haven't awakened yet, or I haven't learned about how to evolve my energy, or I've never even received from non-physical before. Like, this is way out of reach for me. It's not. I myself, a few years ago, had never received from non-physical. I never in a million years thought I'd be sat here talking about domains. So I've got you. I know where you're coming from. I feel you. But if you feel that you want to, please don't shy away from it. Please don't think that you can't, because if you really want to, it's because you knew when you came to physical you'd really want to, and we can help you to get to where you want to be energetically with it. We are the only ones that can do that for you. We're specialized in it. So don't miss out on this opportunity if that's what you're thinking. Even for those of you that are really energetically advanced, if you're thinking this still feels a bit big, it still feels a bit like, can I do it or can't I? Again, many of you know me and energetically now, and we've got you. We feel you. We will help you become really confident and happy with it right from the off. Okay. So don't fear this. If you feel the excitement, just don't miss it. Once in an eternal lifetime opportunity. This is why we really invite you to feel with this and then go with that feeling. Okay. When is the last day you can enroll? So it starts on Sunday, the 1st of October, the Domain Leaders Program. It's a one-time offering. Okay. You can enroll on the 1st, okay, but that is the last day. Okay, so by the end of day on the 1st of October 2023 is when you can enroll for the Domain Leaders Program. Okay, that's UK time. So we'll put a cutoff time of 9 p.m. UK time, okay, on Sunday the 1st of October 2023 for when you can enroll. So again, some of you might just at the last minute be like, frick it, I'm doing it and I'm all in now. Okay, that's okay. That's sometimes how the energetics behind these things work. Others of you have already known and have decided and like, I already know I don't need to watch the webinar. And some of you are like, I still want to just feel a bit more. I'm still feeling my way there. And again, this webinar is going to get you to where you want to be. It's going to bring you to that clarity. Okay, so we've covered a lot in terms of what we've been receiving, you've been wanting to know, what we've been being asked, what we're picking up from most of you also. And we do expect there to be a mixture of people on the Domain Leaders Program. So some that have worked with me for quite a few years, some that have only recently found me and started working with me, plus some of you may even see this webinar, have never seen me before and are like, I just know I need to do this and I want to do it. And for you, wow, okay, let's do it. Okay, but know that you've always got the clarity calls with me as well if you want to book one of those. And so now to the final words from us as we bring this so much more than just a webinar, as we bring this sharing, this loving to a bit of a close. Okay, this moment here where we're talking to you about domain in this more detailed way, to kind of start to bring this moment in time to a bit of a close before we get going with Domain Leaders on the 1st of October. If this moves you, there's a reason why. Trust your energy and let it come to Domain. Okay. This is monumental for mankind. But as we've said, it's monumental, but it's something that we are shouldering the responsibility for. So you'll never, ever be on your own with this. You'll never not be supported by this. Even if I have to step back for a few months, okay, at any point, you will have God, Sali, and Nelson, and many of you will have a key guide that's also there, a guide that's probably been with you a while. One of you already knows who that guide is that's chomping at the bit to get going with you with domain. It's part of what you always agreed that you would do with them. Okay. You're always going to be supported as part of this precious domain family. It's a really, really beautiful, loving thing. And hopefully we've kind of driven this home a lot, but it's important that we do, because we love you so much. One opportunity. So if you feel you want to do this, do it. Even if you're having a few doubts, or even if there's a bit of wobble going on, or a bit of like, whoa, this feels big. Okay. One time, if you're getting really stuck, even if it's on the last day that you can sign up, the 1st of October, and you're a bit like, Sarah, just help me get clear. Okay. I will help you. You can always reach out. It is in our interest to really look after you and support you. Okay. There are payment plans in place. Okay. So the cost for the program, which is important to talk about, is £200 a month, or you can pay £2,400 up front. Okay. There is also the option, if you want to, because one of you has already asked this, if you can pay more of a lump sum to begin with, and then change the kind of the remaining monthly payments accordingly after that as well. So if you feel like you want to do it in a different way, just ask. We're here to make this as feasible for you as possible, which is why the cost, there is still an investment, but we've kept it as low as possible, because we want to get the domain leaders in place and help you as much as we can, and to make it as accessible to you as we possibly can. Okay. So that's why the price is what it is, because quite frankly, there could be so much more we could charge, but we want to make it as accessible as possible. Okay. So if you want to look at a slightly different payment plan option, it will still run across 12 months, but say you want to do more of a lump sum, or you wanted to do 4 quarterly, you wanted to split it kind of into quarterly payments, that type of thing, just let us know. We will work with you, because again, this isn't a mass market program. This is just for those of you that want to become domain leaders, and there is a limit on the number of places and bookings that we can take. So we can therefore work with you to create bespoke payment plans for you, if that's what would help you to take that step into working with domain and make that commitment also. So do just let us know on that. Okay. There's nothing you can't ask me. So any questions that you have after watching this, you can either book a clarity call and ask me, or you can email me. Okay. So there is nothing that is off of the table with this. Okay. Ask me anything that you want to. And know that we firstly thank you for taking the time to listen to this and to feel, and that we are truly so looking forward to getting started on the 1st of October. What we're already receiving, what I'm already receiving and learning ahead of the program starting, because I will always be receiving throughout as well, is just beautiful. And whereas 2 or 3 years ago, I'm just being guided to share this, it felt too big for me. Now I'm ready. So we've got you, and we're going to do this together. It's all about doing this together, never on your own. That feels important to keep saying, but it really truly is that is the case. And so this will hopefully now flow you to clarity. Okay. If not whilst you've watched this soon. Okay. Know that you can always reach out to me at any point. We do start on the 1st of October. So the absolute latest you can join the program, assuming there are still places, is by 9 p.m. UK time on Sunday, the 1st of October. Okay. And just any questions in the meantime, reach out. We're here for you. We love you. There are many of your energies that are so primed and ready, but just kind of wanted to work with the energy flows from this webinar to hear what we had to say in more detail, to know that it's okay that you don't know exactly what you're going to be doing with domain. It's okay that there's mystery around it. This is kind of how Acceler Energy works. There's always more that will be shared, but you never know it all, because when you know it all, it's done, and then there's no more learning. So it's okay that you don't yet know clearly what you're going to do with domain, or you might just get some whispers of the starting point. Just know that domain will give you so much back when you love it and flow with it in this way. It will always give you so much back. There will always be more that it will share with you. So to have this opportunity to ingrain with it in this deep way that only this offering will enable, it truly is a one-off opportunity. So don't let that kind of overwhelm you. Let that excite you. Let that kind of really land with you and settle and feel good about it. Okay. So I am now just going to play one last video. I'm going to share the screen. We're then going to bring this webinar to a live. We're not answering any questions here on this webinar live. We will answer them through email or through clarity calls so that we can give you that one-to-one focus. Plus, there has been a lot that we've shared here and it's quite long, which is beautiful. But some of you are going to feel like you just kind of want to have a bit of a moment after watching this. So we're just going to play one short video now to close this off. And then if you want to book your place, if you want to book a clarity call, if you want to email me, go to sarahmorganglobal.com/domain-leaders. We love you.